Lawmakers on Capitol Hill still can't agree on an aid package for both Israel and Ukraine. Only 3 weeks remain on the legislative calendar, and the White House is pushing for action. National security correspondent Burke details the hurdles ahead.
The issues lawmakers are grappling over range from arguments over Israel's war in Gaza to U.S. immigration reform and border security. While a majority of lawmakers agree aid to our allies is critical, there doesn't appear to be a clear path forward.
We passed the bipartisan Israel support package out of the House a while ago. It's been sitting on this in the Senate and on Chuck Schumer's desk, and so we are encouraging him to get that done.
Speaking in Florida Monday, House Speaker Mike Johnson said he believes Congress will reach an agreement before the holidays, but as two separate packages.
What we've said is that if there is to be additional assistance to Ukraine, which most members of Congress believe is important, we have to also work in changing our own border policy. And so there's been a lot of thoughtful negotiation ongoing with that. I think most of our Senate colleagues recognize that those two things need to move together.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, however, wrote to fellow Democrats Sunday that he plans to bring a national security package to the floor as soon as next week, tying Israel and Ukraine funding together. That bill would also address border security and a number of other foreign policy issues. Meanwhile, Democrats also face pressure from lawmakers critical of Israel's war in Gaza. During a recent media gathering, President Biden said the question of aid to Israel with conditions was, quote, a worthwhile thought. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan clarified that statement on NBC's Meet the Press, saying the current U.S. approach is working.
The approach that he is taking, direct presidential diplomacy behind closed doors with the Israelis and with our Arab partners, that's what's generating the kinds of results that we're seeing right now. That's the course that he's on.
As negotiations in Congress continue, Ralph Reed of the Faith and Freedom Coalition and more than a dozen evangelical leaders sent a letter urging lawmakers to stand with Israel and against anti-Semitism.
We just felt that as faith leaders, we could not remain silent. So it's a very comprehensive call to Congress to pass an immediate aid package to Israel as Israel is under attack and is fighting a war for its very survival.
Another sticking point centers around how these aid packages will be funded. Republicans propose cuts to IRS funding, something Democrats are not expected to back. Burke, CBN News, Washington.
Well, it's time for the United States government to be united and stand with clear moral clarity. I mean, what's happening in Israel is absolutely horrific, and we need to stand with Israel, pass this aid package. The same with Ukraine and standing up to that invasion. There was no justification for it. And we need to adhere to the principles that were established so long ago after World War II. The national integrity and the right of self-determination, all of these things are at play. And we, as the leaders of the free world, we need to stand clearly with those who have been, these attacks are absolutely horrific. We have to call it for what it is, and we can't equivocate on this. We have to lead, and we have to lead with clarity.